gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You.
And we made it to Portugal.
Gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan. We'll be alright.
We're all set up, looking fantastic. We've stayed away from those cliffs though, because there are signs of like rocks falling, so a little bit paranoid about that. Oliver's already on the build. He loves building a sand castle. What is it today, Oliver?
Wall.
Just a wall?
Yes,
Like a fort type thing?
I think so.
Stu's taken all the others down to the water. They're already in, it's absolutely freezing. They must be off their absolute minds. So I'm gonna go and see if I can catch up with them. They must be absolutely bonkers. Is it cold? Yeah.
It is definitely cold, but look how clear it is.
Yeah, it's stunning, isn't it?
Beautifully clear.
All these gorgeous rocks just in this cove. It's just like their own little islands.
The rock formations is what makes this nice though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's really pretty.
Hello.
Hello.
What do you think about my hair?
Yeah, it still needs some work. We've got to put some
Yeah.
extra ones in, haven't we? And we're
Yeah.
going to shave this back a bit. Dexter loves experimenting with his hair.
What's happened, love?
We've had a leak.
Again.
Yeah, so we've just got back from the beach. We're in the middle of cooking our lunch and all of a sudden started noticing water pouring from the side of the van. But here, that's all completely filled with water. It's coming underneath there. And then we realised it was coming from up there, so we knew it was coming from our water system area. And having gone up there to explore, it's actually leaking from the bottom of our heat exchanger from the bobble system. Not gonna lie, we're a bit frustrated right now. We've had quite a few problems with this bobble system. The diesel heater's not working properly, and now we've got a big flood to contend with. So luckily I've been able to isolate the water going into the heat exchange so I can stop it, but we've still got quite a few litres of water in our floor right now that we've now got to fix.
Yeah, and it's shower day. We've just been to the beach, haven't we, with all the kids? So everyone needs a shower, you know, hair, sand everywhere, sea salt. So it's not ideal. We've managed to catch it in the nick of time, I think. It's a case of just get it fixed and try and save as much water as we can, innit?
Yeah, but I've got to now strip the entire kids' beds and go do some work.
It's all down here as well. To be fair, I've had him doing maintenance already today as well.
I know, she put some of her, what do you call that?
Macrame.
Macrame
Yeah.
up. We fixed one of the drawer locking
Just
mechanisms.
little things,
So yeah, just
yeah.
little things.
But
But
this is obviously not little. Look at
this
that.
water thing isn't a little job.
It's still
and
dripping down here, so we're probably still losing it actually.
yeah, I gotta go fix it.
Yeah. Stu is absolutely fuming. We've had to pull all of the mattresses off the kids' beds, the bedding. He's now got to take the dividers out as well. And everything from the garage space has had to come out. So all of Amelia's presents, all of the electricity and the water hoses, stuff like that. So he's not very happy because he was in the middle of his lunch. And to be fair, this isn't the first problem we've had with this heater, is it, love?
No, when we went on the Scotland tour, one of the T pieces had a hairline crack in it, so it was leaking from then. So we lost our hot water then, and now this is gone. We
Yeah.
lost the hot water again. I mean, I'm in the way. I got to get to it, so I got to strip all this out because there's obviously water now on the floor. We got electrics in here, so I got to get all that cleaned up and dried off. Got to have a look at this heat exchange and see exactly what the problem is. I know it's coming from underneath because we turned the pump on briefly and I could see it coming from underneath, but we've already decided and we were going to rip it out.
Yeah.
I can't be dealing with all these issues, and we've got the diesel heater that we've had issues with since the day it's been installed. It'll sort of kick in for a couple of minutes and then it drops down to like 20% speed. It's overheating. We've put 2 gas drop vents in. We've got a vent on the front. There's plenty of air space around it, and it's, you know, it's overheating. I'm like, so I've put a thermometer in there, and like it's like 26, 27 degrees in that area, and it's still cutting out. So I know it's not working properly, but we're getting the blame for it.
Also, we actually went and spent some time back in Wales, and at that moment we were doing like extra maintenance. We managed to put an extra vent in there, so obviously to eliminate the possibility of it overheating. It hasn't been overheating at all. Every time we do any kind of hot water or anything like that as well, we open the back doors, we're lifting up the mattresses, there's plenty of airflow back there. So yeah, we're gutted. I mean, we're in the south of Portugal at the moment. We've just arrived, and obviously we're a bit far from home now. It looks like we're going to now be forking out for campsites to be able to go and have our showers and things like that, which we haven't had many showers on the van. I reckon maybe 3 at most, because like he said already, Stu said already, couldn't use it in Scotland, and now we can't use it again, and we've only had 2 showers on the van since we've left. That was 4 weeks, you know, so it is a little bit frustrating. And Stu's now got a busy afternoon pulling apart our van.
Yes.
We look like we're moving out, to be fair. There's all our stuff just dumped at the minute. So there's all Amelia's presents, the water, mattresses, bedding, all these bits. I've had to take the carpet out because that's just sodden at the moment. The water was coming through the front here. So we're going to have to move the van from here, because at the minute the van is obviously facing forward, because obviously when you're sleeping at the back you want to be sleeping head higher than your feet. But now we're going to have to move the van so it's tilting the other way so that all the water can come off the back. Yeah, he's going to do that once we've got all of these out. So far, this is the situation. You can imagine he's rushing because of all the electrics that we've got in here as well. And we've got quite a big water tank. It's 125 litres, and that's actually been fitted right next to these batteries, which, yeah, we're hoping they're not going to be got any water on them.
No, that's why it's just like move as fast as we can to reduce damage.
Luckily, Stu's built this van in such a way that everything is accessible within 5 minutes or so, but it's obviously hard work, isn't it? So I've now got to get us ready to move on. That means turning the seats around, taking the screen cover off, getting all these bits here put away so they're all
Oliver, come here.
So they're all nice and tidy, because anything that's left on the side is just going to go flying. If you've got a van, you know that anyway. Everything needs to be moved all the time. So I got to crack on. How are you getting on, love?
I'm just about to get it out, see if we can figure out what the exact problem is, see if it's something I can fix or if it's an issue with the actual heat exchanger. So the problem is with this here, which is the heat exchanger, and it's leaking. Right, looks like, is it leaking from that?
I don't know, the water was coming out quite fast, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was definitely leaking from underneath. So underneath, I know there are these 2 screw bits that look similar to that. One of them has one of these on and has this part here which allows me to empty that system. But what I'm gonna do,
maybe check this.
That's okay, that's not leaking. It's definitely leaking from the bottom of this.
I'll tell you something though.
What?
The muck under here is disgusting.
Kids in there.
That's where they're hiding their wrappers.
Yeah, and because there's 3 mattresses and gaps, yeah, that needs a good little hoover, which we'll do in a bit. But for now, I just need to do some damage control.
Water pump on.
Right, let's knock the drain down valve on that down. It's not, it's leaking from inside. Yeah, I can see it. It's inside the radiator. Just seen it now, it's actually leaking from inside the grill. I'll turn it on briefly, I don't want to leak too much water. I think we got enough in here.
Thumbs up.
Yep, there it is. Right, found it. It is inside the heat exchange. There's nothing I can do to fix it. It's the actual radiator part. Now, the only thing we were told about this is obviously when you get a tank of hot water, it can go up to 60, 70 degrees, and you need to knock it off before it gets too hot, and don't obviously leave the diesel heater running through on it, which we haven't. We've only actually used it to do maybe, since in the 2 months, we've done maybe 5 tanks of hot water with it.
Yeah, about that, because we've done about 3 showers in here, and the rest has been for doing dishes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't used it all that much. And actually the diesel heater, because obviously we've been in sunnier climates, we've not used it once, have we? The diesel heater.
Which is gutting.
Yeah, look at it. It's just literally dripping everywhere. So get the towels then, love, and we'll have to just get a clean on.
We've had, unfortunately, on this occasion, you know, and I've heard of others have had good stories with them, we've had nothing but trouble with it, have we?
Yeah.
Said we had problem when the T-piece went, then the valve, the dump valve went, and it was dumping all our water, and now we got a big leak in here, and literally our entire floor, and it's all underneath, it's soaked. I'm fuming.
So we've basically got to go back, probably end up having to go back now, won't we, to the whole, ripping the whole van back to scraps and starting again.
This will all need, yeah, we're going to have to put another system in. This is going to have to come out. I can't leave it in now. I've lost trust in it. I've had 3 big issues with it, this being the biggest. And I'm going to be honest, when we've talked to them, like we've had issues with this diesel heater, and we just keep getting the feeling that we're sort of to blame with it. But, you know, you can see it's got, oh, there's nothing else goes in that area. Like where you can see that diesel heater right now, I'll show you where it goes. That's it. You know, I got a gas drop vent right there. I got another one just over there, and then I've put a vent in but here, bearing in mind it's also completely open all up here towards the back, and this is all open, so there's plenty of airflow there. I've even installed this device here that monitors the temperature, and this is shutting down, that's reading about 26, 27 degrees when that's happening. And I know there's a problem with it, but yeah, they don't want to know.
Doesn't help, does it? Because we've got a massive tank, because obviously there's 5 of us, we needed a bigger tank.
Yeah.
And we've had a handful of showers, really.
Yeah.
It's not like we've used it to heat up constantly and have loads of hot water on the regular. We do it very rarely.
So this tank that's gone here was actually only here for the short term until we got one fitted underneath, but I was going to get someone who in the know to fit it. But it looks like that'll happen sooner now, because we're going to take this out and we're going to have to put a new system in. I just don't know what to go for.
Don't people say
fun and games.
Hasn't the Truma been recommended before now?
You've got the diesel version, or you can go to the gas version.
Yeah, the only thing is if we go gas, then it makes this van suddenly then not all electric, and we've got to put gas in here.
Well, we're probably going to have to look at the gas version of the Truma. I
Yeah.
think take all this out, get this mounted underneath, fit the Truma over there, and then a good thing about it is we will get a much bigger garage.
Yeah.
Because the water tank will go underneath. I'll ask Luke and Mark to just relocate the batteries for us to this side, so all the electrics are on the one side, and then we'll have a good sized garage.
So the van's been moved, tilted, the lot. So we've just checked now, there was no water coming out the back at all, so we figured we've caught most of it from the front end.
Thankfully what's happened is obviously you've got your steel floor, your battens with insulation, and I've got my ply lining and the lino on top of that. Thankfully it stayed on top of the ply. We just checked to see if it's gone under the floor, and it hasn't, so that's a win.
Absolute win.
It's found its easiest route to the side door because the fan just happens to be at the lowest over there. So thankfully we've been able to solve that. I've, as you can see, stripped all that out. It was a good opportunity for us to give it a clean as well.
Yeah, so a big shout out to Jan and Nick, because they've lent us their Hoover, and they said to me, oh, there's no water, is there? I went, no, it's only a few bits on the top, and I've absolutely destroyed their Hoover, so I'm sorry about that, guys. But we've got a clean boot.
Yeah, so what I've done is, let me show you guys. At the moment, that ducting normally comes to the back here so that it heats the rear in the winter, and I've got like a shut-off valve on it. So I've pulled it out and I've just got it pointing to where it was wet, and that's doing a pretty good job. I've replumbed the diesel heater so it no longer goes to a diverter which goes to the heat exchange. That now literally goes straight into our ducting system, so we've taken the hot water system completely out of it. I figured I can't use it anyway, so I might as well bypass it. I didn't want any excess leaking air back here. So that's what we're doing. We're currently, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and we're just trying to get this dry. Fun, fun, fun. Can't believe it. But the good thing is we built it, so we know how to fix it. But that does also mean now we need to find a new diesel heater, well, not a new diesel heater, we now need to find a new water heating system. So I think our current idea is we're going to rip out that diesel heater and water heater system, and I think we're going to look at the Truma. I think that's our only option, babe. We want to keep it gas free. We could look, there are other brands that do the water heater via the diesel heater. We've lost a bit of trust in it though, haven't we? To be fair.
Oh, I don't know. To be fair, the positive is it's a self-build. We can fix all this ourselves.
Exactly.
So you know, this is good. I mean, at least we know where everything is. You know where every screw is, every bolt is, whatever. We can get in there and get it sorted.
Yeah.
So it's not the problem. It's just inconvenient for us more than anything, isn't it?
Yes, but it does mean we haven't got any hot water now for the remainder of this journey.
Yay! Yay!
Although you did say you wanted more campsites, so there you have it.
Yeah, that is true actually. I did want some more campsites because we've been wild in pretty much every day, haven't we? Yeah. Anyway, yes, this is the first sunny day that we've really had, and actually we've been stuck in the back of the van sorting this out. So I may as well put my normal clothes back on, get this repaired, get this all put back together.
Well, that's all done. We're just it's dry out stage now. Luckily we got a beautiful day, so I put the diesel heater on as well as got the front engine on because I've put the recirc on with the air conditioner, so that'll also take the excess moisture out of the air. So that's all we can do a minute about.
Alright, so it's a cold shower for me and the kids. Get changed, and then once all that's done we can get all this fitted. Hopefully it'll be dry.
Yes.
Yay! So we've just managed to get all of this put back away, refixed. The kiddies have just now jumped back in. They're having 5 minutes iPad time. So we've just had a local officer just come up to us and say, because we've had reports of us having our things out on the sand there because we were trying to fix the back of the van, it's considered camping behaviours basically, and camping behaviours around here come with quite a hefty fine. So you're talking anywhere between €600 on private land and then €1,000 then if you end up on a nature reserve. So he was very kind about it. He's just basically said, you know, put all your things away, which is obviously what we've done, and we've explained the reason why we had our things out. He was good about it, but I think it's just given a feeling of unease now, so we're gonna hit the road and move on from here. We've had a lovely time. The thing that we've noticed in Portugal though is you can't find the park-ups as easy as you think. So using things like Park for Night, for example, they've been really useful, but quite often you get there and you are being told of you have to move on, your police are knocking and asking you to leave, that kind of thing. And this particular spot that we've been in, as beautiful as it is, during the summer months they've been patrolling it more often because they've said about, you know, drugs and things like that and immigrants coming in from Morocco and places like that, so they do patrol the area quite heavily. And obviously having camping car behaviour and things like that and camper vans, they're worried about, you know, damage to vans and stuff. So that's basically what they've told us. So we're thinking, well, to be honest, that doesn't sit right with us. There's a campsite up the road that we quite fancied. It was run by the CAMC or in partnership with the CAMC. Looks really good. That's in Praia de Luz. We were thinking of going over to the lighthouse. Basically Stu's just gone off on a walk to put the bins somewhere, and he's just come back and said we're going to move, so I have no idea where we're going at this stage. But yeah, Portugal is beautiful, but if you want to park with a camper van you need to be really careful. I think you need to use camping facilities. We turned up to one yesterday though when we were doing our service stop. For €3 you could drop off our wastewater, get fresh water and empty the Elson, and it was €3, which was really reasonable, but it was full up. Well, it's been a hell of a day, so we've decided we're going to hit the road and go back to Huelva in Spain. We're not going to go to the lighthouse as much as we want to. The fact that the coastal roads are showing no parking, like no overnight camping or things like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
and people are being moved on.
It's not only that, the other problem is, yes, there's campsites, but because of the strictness here, they're all full. Yeah. We've just called a couple and they are all full.
Can't get on them.
We're like, right, we'll stick with what we know.
Yeah, so on that note, we're gonna, after the poor luck that we've had today, we've started off this morning, we had a problem with a socket, that wasn't working.
No, this vlog was actually supposed to be a nice beach and onto a lighthouse for you.
Yeah.
But instead, you got a nice beach, but then a big drama. So sorry about that.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to Huelva.
Back to sunny Spain.
Yeah, it is nice actually weather. The weather has changed over the next few days, so it's showing really nice temperatures.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some tan on and just have a bit of a good time, isn't it? I want to stop and get the kids some beach buckets because they've accidentally left them somewhere and we have no idea where. And that's that.
So we hope you enjoyed this video, guys.
But until the next time,
We'll see you in a bit.
bye! Today literally cannot get any worse. You can barely see us because it's pitch black. We've just driven all the way back to Spain, got on some sand, and we got stuck.